Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, a cozy little space for anyone who loves or is learning to love keeping their home calm, clean, and full of good energy. Today I'll be sharing a few simple practical tips to make your home feel lighter, fresher, and easier to care for every day. But tell me, do you ever feel like no matter how much you clean, things somehow get messy again? I've been there too. Between work, family, and endless little tasks, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. You tidy up one day, and the next morning, it's as if nothing ever happened. That's exactly why I made this video, to show that a peaceful home doesn't require perfection or hours of cleaning. It's about small, mindful habits that truly work in real life. So grab your coffee, take a breath, and let's make cleaning feel calm, simple, and even a little joyful together. Let's start right here with the bathroom. There's something oddly satisfying about stepping into a clean, fresh bathroom, the kind where everything has its place. The air feels light, and even the smallest details sparkle. But let's be honest, getting to that point isn't always glamorous. It usually starts with an overwhelming mess, bottles lined up like soldiers' half-used lotions you swore you'd finish, and towels that have long lost their fluff. On one quiet Sunday morning, I decided to face it all. I began by pulling everything out of the cabinets: old skincare, expired makeup, empty shampoo bottles that somehow escaped notice. I used to keep them thinking, maybe I'll use this someday. But the truth is, someday never came. Throwing them out felt surprisingly freeing, like I was letting go of the clutter in my mind too. Once the unnecessary things were gone, I gave every corner a deep clean, wiping shelves, polishing mirrors, scrubbing the sink until it gleamed. Then came the fun part: organizing. I grouped items by category: skincare here, hair care there, and bathroom essentials neatly arranged in small baskets. Suddenly, my bathroom didn't just look better, it felt calmer. It's funny how cleaning one small space can shift the energy of an entire home. When the bathroom was spotless, I naturally wanted the rest of my house to match that sense of clarity. I walked through each room, fixing little things: folding blankets, straightening chairs, clearing countertops. Slowly, everything began to breathe again. The atmosphere changed. My home felt lighter, warmer, and more alive. That day, I realized something important. Cleaning isn't a one-time event. It's a rhythm, a quiet, ongoing conversation between you and your space. Maintaining order doesn't mean perfection. It means paying attention, caring enough to reset small things before they become chaos. And maybe that's what keeping a home truly means: surrounding yourself only with things that serve a purpose, bring comfort, or spark joy. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't just a tidy house. It's peace of mind, a sense of ease that welcomes you home. So the next time you wipe down the counter or toss out an old bottle, remember, it's not just cleaning. It's creating space for the life you actually want to live. And speaking of creating space, tomorrow's video will take us into the kitchen, exploring everyday items that quietly clutter your counters but don't truly serve you. Don't miss it. It's full of simple, eye-opening tips that will help you make your kitchen lighter, calmer, and genuinely more functional. After refreshing my bathroom, I realized that cleanliness often inspires momentum. Once one space feels lighter, you naturally want the rest of your home to follow. So the next place I turned to was my closet, that hidden corner filled with memories, decisions, and sometimes a bit of guilt. Now, let's move to the next space, the closet. It started with a simple thought. Why does my closet always feel so full, yet I never have anything to wear? One rainy afternoon, I decided it was time to face the truth hiding behind those closet doors. As I pulled out piles of clothes, some untouched for years, I realized how easily we let our wardrobes grow beyond what we actually need. Each piece seemed to hold a tiny story: a dress I once adored, jeans that no longer fit, and shirts kept just in case. The first step was to sort everything with honesty. I made 3 piles: wear, often rarely wear, and not anymore. It was eye-opening to see how small the first pile actually was. Many clothes looked fine, even beautiful, but they didn't suit who I am now. Letting them go wasn't easy. Some still had tags, others carried memories of a different version of me. But I reminded myself it's not wasteful to let go. It's wasteful to keep what no longer serves you. I started giving away good pieces to friends, donating others, and even selling a few online. Watching those clothes find new homes felt surprisingly joyful. It wasn't just about decluttering. It was about releasing the guilt that often hides in our drawers, guilt for spending money, for changing sizes, for growing out of certain styles. When I finally closed the closet doors that evening, everything inside looked lighter, calmer, more me. My mornings became easier too. No more endless searching, just a few well-loved pieces that make me feel confident every time I wear them. I realized that owning less doesn't limit you, it frees you. Cleaning out a closet can teach you more than organization. It's a quiet lesson in self-acceptance. We evolve, and so should our spaces. The clothes we keep should reflect the person we are today, not the one we used to be or hope to become someday. So if your closet feels overwhelming, maybe it's not just clothes you're sorting through, maybe it's layers of your past self waiting to be released. Letting go isn't losing. It's making space for the life, the style, and the piece that truly fit you now. With my wardrobe finally simplified and my mornings feeling easier, I began to notice something else. The quiet chaos hiding in my kitchen drawers. It's funny how clutter travels, isn't it? So I decided to take that same clarity from my closet and bring it into the heart of my home, the kitchen. Next, we're heading to the heart of every home, the kitchen. One afternoon, as I opened my drawers and cabinets, I realized how much had quietly piled up over time. There were duplicate spatulas, chipped mugs I swore I'd fix, and containers missing their lids, a small chaos disguised as maybe useful someday. I decided to bring everything out, every spice jar, every cup, every utensil. Seeing it all spread across the counter was a shock. I hadn't realized how much space was taken by things I barely touched. Some items hadn't been used in months, maybe years. That's when I made a rule for myself. If I hadn't used it in 6 months, it was time to let it go. It felt liberating to toss what was broken, donate what was still good, and finally see empty space again. I began reorganizing my drawers and shelves, putting the most used tools where my hands naturally reached, knives near the cutting board, oils by the stove mugs close to the kettle. It wasn't about perfection. It was about creating a kitchen that worked with me, not against me. As I sorted through everything, I noticed a familiar thought whispering, "Keep this just in case." It's such a common trap. We hold on to things out of fear we might need them one day. But more often than not, just in case becomes never. That realization changed how I looked at every object in my home. The truth is, a cluttered kitchen doesn't just take physical space, it takes mental space too. When everything was finally in order, the change was more than visual. Cooking became easier, smoother, almost enjoyable again. I could find what I needed instantly, and cleaning up took half the time. My kitchen felt lighter, and so did I. Decluttering the kitchen taught me that simplicity isn't about having less. It's about keeping what truly serves your life today. Every clean counter and neatly arranged drawer reminded me that organization isn't a chore. It's a form of self-respect, a quiet way of saying, my home deserves care, and so do I. Pull everything out. Be honest about what you really use and let go of the rest. Because sometimes creating more space isn't about buying new things, it's about learning to live beautifully with less. Once my kitchen felt calm and functional, I found myself craving that same sense of order in my working space. Now that the kitchen feels calm, let's turn to something a little more sentimental, our books, papers, and keepsakes, the quiet storytellers of our lives. Books, papers, and keepsakes, they tell the quiet story of our lives. Yet over time, that story can start to pile up, gathering dust in forgotten corners. One Saturday morning, I looked around my desk and realized how cluttered it had become. Stacks of old notebooks, receipts I meant to go through later, and shelves full of books I hadn't opened in years. It wasn't just physical clutter, it felt like mental noise, small reminders of unfinished things. So I made myself a cup of tea, turned on some soft music, and began. I decided to spend the whole weekend sorting through everything. I started with my books. Each one held a memory, a phase of my life. But as I flipped through the pages, I asked myself, will I truly read this again? Does it still inspire me? Slowly, the answer became clear. I kept only the ones that still felt meaningful, the ones that could still teach comfort or motivate me. Then came the papers. Old documents, class notes, random printouts. I categorized them into 3 piles, important to keep, worth scanning, and ready to go. I found that most of what I was holding on to just in case had already lost its purpose. Letting go of them felt like clearing away old thoughts I no longer needed. The hardest part, surprisingly, was the small keepsakes, souvenirs from trips, birthday cards, or little gifts from friends. Each carried a story, but I realized that memories don't live inside the objects, they live inside me. Keeping a few special items was enough. I didn't need a box full of things to remind me of who I love or what I've experienced. By the end of the weekend, my shelves looked spacious. My desk finally had room to breathe. When I sat down to work, I felt lighter, more focused, and at peace. I understood that decluttering isn't about throwing things away, it's about deciding what deserves to stay. A clear space creates a clear mind. And maybe that's why organizing feels so healing. It's not just about tidying up your surroundings, but about gently sorting through parts of your life, choosing what still matters, and letting the rest go with gratitude. With my books neatly arranged and the paper piles gone, my eyes started noticing something else. The corners of my home that felt heavy. The plants, the decorations, the little trinkets that once brought joy, but now just collected dust. It was time to refresh the energy and let my space breathe again. Let's refresh your decor, small touches that breathe new energy into your home. I've always believed that the small things we place around our homes, plants, candles, little decorations quietly shape the way we feel every day. But over time, I started noticing something instead of bringing peace. Some corners of my home began to feel heavy. My once vibrant plants were fading, the decorations I once adored now just collected dust. That was when I knew it was time to refresh, to let go, and start again. One quiet afternoon, I walked around the house with a gentle but honest eye. I looked at every plant and every decorative piece, the vase that no longer matched my space, the souvenir from a trip long past, and the dried flowers that had lost their color. Each of them had once meant something, but not everything is meant to stay forever. So I began the process, keeping what still felt alive and saying goodbye to what no longer did. The plants came first. I trimmed the wilted leaves, repotted the ones still strong, and let go of the ones that had already completed their little journey. Then I moved on to the decor. I chose to keep only the things that made me feel calm and inspired. The soft-toned candle holder, a ceramic bird that always made me smile, and a small photo that reminded me of joy, not nostalgia. As I cleaned the shelves and rearranged each piece, the room slowly transformed. It felt brighter, lighter, as if fresh air had finally found its way back in. What surprised me most was how much lighter I felt too. That's when I realized something simple but powerful: letting go isn't about losing. It's about creating space for new energy to flow in. When the room was done, I sat by the window with a cup of tea, admiring how peaceful everything looked. The sunlight danced on the clean surfaces, and the few green plants I kept looked happier too. I smiled, thinking sometimes less truly is more. Keeping a beautiful home isn't about filling every corner. It's about allowing each object to breathe, to have purpose, to spark quiet joy. And when we choose to release what no longer fits, we don't just refresh our space, we refresh ourselves. After lightening up my living space, I turn my attention to one of the most important areas, my desk. It's where ideas are born, plans take shape, and sometimes where clutter quietly steals focus. I wanted my workspace to reflect clarity inside and out. Now to your desk, the space where focus and calm naturally begin. There's something magical about a tidy desk. Every time I sit down to work or study, I can feel the difference between chaos and clarity. That's why every few weeks I dedicate a little time to give my workspace a reset, not just to make it look nice, but to remind myself that a clean environment creates calm energy. The first step is always the hardest, facing the clutter. I gather every single item from my desk, the old sticky notes, tangled charging cables, random receipts, pens that ran out of ink months ago. It's amazing how much stuff hides in plain sight. Then comes my favorite part, deciding what truly deserves to stay. Only the essentials remain: my laptop, a small notebook, my favorite pen, and a simple lamp that gives off warm light. Over time, I've learned that a workspace doesn't need to be full to feel inspiring. In fact, the more I remove, the better I think. A clear desk gives me a clear mind. I also make sure my desk sits near a window where sunlight gently hits the surface in the morning. Natural light not only helps me stay awake, but also lifts my mood instantly. It's like giving my brain a little hug. I used to keep souvenirs, pictures, and decorative items on my desk for motivation. But I realized that too much visual noise made me distracted. Now I choose one meaningful photo or a small plant, something that makes me smile but doesn't demand my attention. And here's the truth: cleaning your workspace isn't about being neat. It's about creating a zone where your thoughts can breathe. Every time I finish tidying, I feel lighter, more focused, and ready to tackle new goals. Productivity doesn't start with coffee, it starts with clarity. But of course, keeping things organized isn't about doing it once and forgetting it. The real magic lies in what we do every day. So before we end this journey, let's talk about the small, consistent habits that make tidiness feel effortless. The quiet rituals that keep both your home and your mind in harmony. Finally, let's talk about daily habits, the secret to keeping your home effortlessly tidy. I used to think cleaning was something you finish. You know, the big Saturday reset, the full day deep clean, the exhausting chore that leaves you too tired to enjoy the result. But over time, I realized something so simple yet powerful: a tidy home isn't made in a single day. It's built slowly through little habits every single day. Now I spend just 10 to 15 minutes each evening doing what I call my quick reset. I walk around the house, putting things back where they belong: the cup left on the coffee table, the jacket on the chair, the book half open on the bed. It's nothing dramatic, but it keeps clutter from quietly piling up. It's amazing how a few mindful minutes can keep tomorrow from feeling overwhelming. One rule that changed everything for me is this: whatever you take out, put it back where it belongs. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but it's the backbone of a calm, organized home. Whether it's makeup on my dresser or cooking utensils in the kitchen, I remind myself the few seconds I spend now will save me hours later. Every week, I also pick one small corner to refresh, maybe a drawer, a shelf, or that one cabinet that somehow collects everything. These little wins keep me motivated. I've stopped chasing the idea of perfection. Instead, I focus on consistency. A home that's cared for regularly doesn't just look clean, it feels peaceful. I've learned that cleaning isn't a task to cross off a list. It's a lifestyle, a form of self-care. It's the quiet moment when I reconnect with my base, with myself. When my home is in order, my thoughts are too. That's why I see tidying not as pressure, but as peace. If you ever feel like your home is slipping into chaos, don't wait for the weekend. Start small tonight. Clear one surface, return one item, breathe deeply. Because cleanliness isn't about control, it's about creating a space where your mind can rest. And those are the 7 ways I practice each week to keep my home tidy gently without pressure. Over time, I've grown to truly love my home, not because it's perfect, but because I've learned how to care for it in a way that feels natural. My home has become more than just a space I live in. It's my safe place, my little world of calm and warmth. I no longer feel weighed down by housework. Instead, it's something that brings me quiet joy. If you're looking to save time cleaning and clear your mind, try putting some of these habits into practice. And if you can get your family involved, share the routines, the small tasks, and the sense of accomplishment. When everyone contributes, keeping the home in balance becomes lighter and even more meaningful. I also made a separate video about everyday kitchen items you don't actually need. It's packed with simple, eye-opening tips that can transform your kitchen and the way you live in it. Don't miss it, it's truly worth your time. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. You deserve a calmer, cleaner space and a lighter heart every single day.